hair. And the eyes are different, too.
Yes, I guess you're right. Well, let's see the rest of the pictures. If he's in here, we'll find him, Bill.
Right.
Do you think he's the murderer?
Well, he could be. You saw him beating Morgan. Now, it's just a step from that to murder.
Yeah, a pretty big step, though.
Yeah. But the trouble is, he was beating Morgan because Morgan owed him money. But Mrs. Morgan says that Morgan borrowed on his insurance to pay off the debt. And if he paid off before the murder, well, there goes the motive.
Yeah.
Jerry, how about that one? No, jaw's too square.
No. Well, we're getting down to the end of the pictures, Bill. Sorry, I'm afraid he isn't in here.
Well, I guess he doesn't have a record yet, then. We'll just have to find him and give him one.
But if Morgan paid him off...
Well, that may get him out of the murder, Pam, but we still ought to be able to hang bookmaking and assault and battery on him. So I'd better put somebody on it right now.
Who's that?
Shall I go see, or do you want to guess?
Well, it's probably Bill. He said he'd be over this afternoon.
Well, I'll see.
Hello, Mr. North.
Oh, you.
Yes, may I come in?
Well, I have an idea you're going to, no matter what I say, so come on.
Thank you.
Who is it, Jerry? Oh, the man whose picture we couldn't find.
Yeah.
Yes, I read in the paper that you were trying to help the police locate me, and you gave an accurate, if somewhat flattering description of me, and that's how I knew who you were and where to find you.
And now that you have...
Thought you might like a little friendly warning.
Friendly?
Well, that depends on you. The police are looking for me, and when they find me, they're going to ask you to identify me. Well, I'd advise you not to.
But we've already described you.
Yeah, and I resemble the description. However, you can still say that I'm not the man.
And if we don't do what you want?
You have a very beautiful wife, Mr. North, and I'm sure that you wouldn't want anything to happen to her.
Nothing will.
Well, I hope not, Mrs. North. Now, goodbye.
Just a minute.
I don't think there's anything more to say.
You expect us to protect a murderer?
I'm not a murderer, if that makes you feel any better.
Then why are you threatening us? You wouldn't dare do anything.
I didn't say I would. But I hope, for your sake, that you don't call my bluff.
Don't you think he's bluffing, Jerry?
I don't know.
Just don't count on it. That's all I can say. And now, goodbye again.
What are you so afraid of?
Afraid? As a matter of...
Oh, thank heavens.
Oh, so that's what you've been stalling for.
I see who it is, Jerry. It's probably Bill.
Yeah, just a minute.
Oh, dear, a gun.
Yeah, and I'll do exactly what I say, both of you, or I may have to use it.
All right, fella. What do you want us to do?
First, make sure who's out there. Call out, but don't say anything except, who is it?
All right. Who's there?
Me, Jerry. Bill.
Tell them to wait a minute.
Just a minute, Bill.
Now, who is this Bill that you've been expecting?
Why don't you have me let him in and you'll see.
Not so fast.
I'll tell you who he is. He's Lieutenant Wigan of Homicide.
Oh?
And I'm going to let him in right now.
No, you don't. You stay where you are.
You won't shoot with the police right outside.
How do I know it's the police?
You'll find out in a minute. I'm coming, Bill.
Stay where you are, or I'll...
Oh, no, you don't go. Hey, I've got him, Pam. Open the door, quick.
All right.
Hey, Pam, what's going on?
Help, Jerry. Bill, that man's got a gun.
All right. Break it up. Break it up. Drop that gun, mister. Drop it. Now, that's better. Pick it up, Jerry.
I got it.
Now, what's this all about?
Well, you've just got yourself another candidate for that rogues gallery of yours.
Wigan speaking. No? All right, send him in. Well, this ought to wrap it up.
What is it, Bill?
I've had Mrs. Morgan brought down to headquarters. Now, you two identified Daniels as the man who was cuffing Morgan around. Now, if she identifies him as the man who came looking for Morgan, that'll sew up the connection.
Yeah, but what about Daniel's story that Morgan paid him the $5,000? Even if he's lying, you'll have to break the story, or Daniels won't have a motive.
Oh, I can break it, Jerry, or at least punch a big hole in it. Now, we picked up a character named Archie Cochran, a pal of Morgan's. Cochran says Morgan put the money on a horse called Happy Day running in the 5th today at Belmont. And he was going to pay it off if he won. But he never got the chance.
Here's Mrs. Morgan, Lieutenant. Come on, Doris. I came along with Mrs. Morgan, Lieutenant. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no, of course not. Sit down, won't you, please?
Oh, thank you. I asked Roger to come with me, Lieutenant. been such a comfort to me. Jerry, from the way she's looking at him, it looks like he's more than just a comfort.
Yeah.
And I thought she was so crazy about her husband.
Yeah, maybe she's just glad to have someone to turn to.
Want Daniels in here too, Lieutenant?
Yes.
Okay, Daniels. Inside.
What do you want now, Lieutenant?
Mrs. Morgan, is this the man who came to your apartment looking for your husband?
Yes.
Well, sure, I went looking for Freddie. So what? He owed me money.
He owed you money, and you...
And I collected.
Archie Cochran says differently, Daniels.
Well, I don't care what Archie Cochran says. I say that Freddie paid me my $5,000, and if you can't prove he didn't, you can't prove I had a motive for killing him.
Jerry, darling, what time is it?
About 3:45.
I wonder if we're in time. Bill, didn't you have a portable radio around here?
Oh, yes, on that table, Pam, next to those books.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Pam, what are you doing?
Tuning in the broadcast of the races at Belmont.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Pam.
Please, Bill, don't you see that there's one way to prove whether or not Mr. Daniels is telling the truth? If this horse, this Happy Day, wins, why, Mrs. Morgan will collect some money.
And that'll prove that Freddie bet the money instead of paying me, huh?
Exactly, Mr. Daniels.
Well, what if Happy Day loses? How are you going to prove whether Freddie lost the dough on the nag or paid me?
Daniels is right, Pam.
Oh, yes, but, well, let's listen to the race anyway, Bill. It'll only take a minute. Oh, here's the station.
Around the first turn, it's Mr. Pat by a length. Greenhorn by 1. Katie did. Happy Day on Barney's
I don't want to
Boy.
collect. I don't want to have anything to do with the races.
Hey, look, Lieutenant, if you brought me in here to listen to this...
Now,
I got-
relax, Daniels.
Backstretch, it's still Mr. Pat by 1. Greenhorn by 2. Katie did by 2. And
I
Barney's
can't
Boy.
stand this, Lieutenant. Do I have to put up with it?
Easy, Doris. It'll be over in a minute.
Going into the
Sorry.
far turn, it's Mr. Pat by 2. Katie did by 2. Barney's Boy by a head. Greenhorn and Happy Day.
Come on, Happy Day.
Into the stretch, it's Katie did on the rail by a length. Barney's Boy by a neck. Greenhorn. And here comes Happy Day on the outside.
Here he comes, Pam!
Yes, come on,
It's
Happy
Katie
Day.
did and Happy Day. Katie did and Happy Day. They're coming down to the wire neck and neck. Katie did and Happy Day, and Happy Day takes it by a head.
He did it! Oh, now we can prove whether Freddie Morgan paid you back or not, Mr. Daniels.
Happy Day wins with Katie did second and Barney's Boy. The numbers aren't on the board yet, but Happy Day will probably pay about 4 to 1.
4-1. Why, Daniels, if you hadn't been in such a hurry to kill Freddie, he could have paid you off with interest, collecting $5,000 at 4-1.
You still have to prove that I killed him.
It must have been you. You're the one who beat him up, and you...
Oh, just a minute, Mrs. Morgan. Bill, when you called Mrs. Morgan to ask her to come down here, what did you tell her?
That I want her to come down here, that's all.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You didn't tell her about Archie Cochran, what he told you?
No.
I see. Well, but then how did Mr. Gray know how much Freddie Morgan had bet on Happy Day?
Why, I didn't.
But you just said to Mr. Daniels that if he'd waited until Freddie Morgan had collected $5,000 at 4-1.
Well, you said...
Well,
that-
all I said was that Freddie Morgan had bet on Happy Day. I didn't say how much it was. It could have been $2, $5, $10, anything. But you said $5,000. So you must have seen Freddie after he placed the bet, which means...
Roger.
Doris, you don't believe me. You don't think
But
that
you said the other day you hoped he was dead.
Yes,
You
but...
killed
Oh,
him.
no, Doris, please. Now, listen.
Oh, don't touch me. I loved him. Why couldn't you believe that? I needed him. I wanted him. He was all I wanted. Why didn't you listen when I told you? Why did you have to take him away from me? I could kill you.
Oh, Mrs. Morgan, stop.
I'd kill him.
Oh,
I don't think you will, Mrs. Morgan. I don't think the state will let him live long enough for that.
Jerry!
Oh, hello, darling. Oh, I'm glad you're home. Now maybe you can help me.
All right, what do you want? What were you doing in the coat closet?
Looking for the phone book.
In the coat closet?
Well, I tried the bathroom, the bedroom, and the kitchen. Where on earth did you put it?
The phone book? Well, here it is, Jerry, on the phone table.
Oh, no, Pam.
Why, Jerry, where did you think it would be?
Oh.